Hi everyone, it's Neil from WineExpedition.com. I'm here with my friend Steve Greer. How are you, Steve?
Neil, what's happening? Great ball game.
Yeah, I'm watching the Dodger game. Thought we'd be done about an hour ago, but we're at the, what, bottom of the 15th?
15th inning, 2-2 in St. Louis, where the Dodgers cannot win.
Yeah, I'm a Dodger fan, and Steve is actually a Reds fan, but
we can't win here.
We can agree to disagree.
I feel sorry for both you guys.
Yeah. So we're having a little bottle of wine, shockingly enough, while watching baseball. And tonight it's a bottle of Ridge, 2006 Geyserville. If you've been following the site, you've seen our webisodes from Ridge. Big fans of the Ridge. We were up at the Lytton Springs property interviewing winemaker John Olney. And, oh boy.
Here's Manny with his lack of
in the park home run.
Manny cannot hustle.
Yeah, it's not looking good. So we'll keep talking about wine because it'll make me forget about the ball game at hand. We were up at the Lytton Springs Ridge property interviewing winemaker John Olney and got to know a little bit about the Ridge philosophy. It's sort of almost like a European philosophy, I'd say, or a French philosophy, where it's not about, hey, we make a Zinfandel, we make a Cabernet. It's about, we have a piece of property, and the property is planted with grapes that are most appropriate for that property, and this wine is an expression of that property. So we're not even calling it, you don't see the name of a grape anywhere in big letters. It just says Geyserville, and that's the piece of property this came from. What John told us is, at least the Lytton Springs properties, when they purchased the property, there were vineyards that were planted almost 100 years earlier from Italian...
Another carry-on's 100 years old.
Yeah, so this piece of property was planted 100 years ago by some Italian settlers who knew a thing or two about making wine.
Yep.
You know, and said, hey, this piece of property, this dirt and that sun over there and the way the breeze blows and where the fog comes in, we're going to plant it this way with, you know, 65% Zinfandel and 30% Petit Syrah and some Carignan, and, you know, that's how they do it. So, once again, that's Ridge's philosophy. The Geyserville is not called a Zinfandel, although this is primarily Zinfandel, right?
Yeah.
70%, 80% Carignan, 10% Petit Syrah, and 2% Mataro.
Mataro, which is Mourvèdre.
Right. So those are the grapes that most likely were on this property when they got it, and those are the grapes that are the expression of this property. Do you have anything to say about this wine before we take a sip?
I like how soft tannins are.
So you're hinting that we've already tasted the wine.
We have already drank this.
Although if you observe, there's very little wine in the bottle left.
It's almost gone.
Shockingly enough. I'm struck by the nose. You know, I've tasted a few wines in my day, and oftentimes the nose is passive or doesn't really say a lot about the wine. This nose really, from the get-go, draws me in. It's like oaky and complex and
floral, slightly
enticing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really cool nose. I mean, I'm just like, okay, I want to taste this.
I love these. And I do have to point out that our names are written in dry eraser instead of, what are they called?
We don't use wine charms here on Expeditions.
Yes.
We go for the dry erase, which tends to alter the nose of the wine a little bit, as our webmaster Brandon pointed out, but I'm trying to ignore that. So the nose has got that oaky, complex thing happening, and then once I get the wine in my mouth, the wine is much more, like you said, soft and sort of slow rolling. It's like a nice...
Tannins are very elegant.
Yes.
Long finish. That raspberry, perfumey raspberry finish.
Yeah, gentle, easy going.
And unlike a lot of Zinfandels that have gone into the 16, 17% alcohol.
Yeah, it's not very hot.
This is, there we go. Keeping it hidden.
I'm going to say 14% because
14.6.
saw it earlier. Yeah, it's not very hot at all. I mean, we've talked about that in the blog before. Some California Zins, you pull them up, they're 16%, and
you know, 2 glasses of that, you're walking.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a webisode, and I'm talking in another language.
Yeah.
This is not that at all. Doesn't surprise me when I saw it.
Is absolutely gorgeous.
It's a white binder.
Beautiful color, not over extracted.
Put the binder behind it so
Nice
that the
garnet.
camera can see it.
Here we go.
It's a top-notch operation here.
Did that work?
Close enough. We got it.
You got it?
I got it.
And sort of my final thought on this, it doesn't surprise me. You know, anytime I see a Ridge, even their entry level wine, the three valleys, which is like $20.
Yeah, $18.99.
And this goes for what?
35,
32, 35. Yeah. So even this is a $35 bottle of wine. Even their entry level, their $18, $19 bottle of wine has that same. I mean, you know someone's in charge. I mean, it's crafted, good fruits. It's a well-made
They allow
bottle
the
of wine.
grapes to make the wine instead of vice versa. They're not manipulating and trying to do an over-the-top, extracted, heavy, high-alcohol wine.
Well,
they allow the grapes in the land.
Look at the land. It almost goes even further than the grapes. They allow the land to dictate what's going to end up in this bottle, which again, at the end of the day, is why the bottle of wine doesn't say Ridge Zinfandel or Ridge Cabernet. It says Ridge Geyserville or Ridge Lytton Springs. They named the wine after the property, after the piece of land.
There's another wine that you must try that's around 35 tooth Ridge called Santa Cruz Red, which includes some of the Montebello fruit, I think.
And if you're not familiar, Ridge's flagship wine is their Montebello Cabernet Sauvignon. The Montebello property is not in Sonoma County, it's actually in Santa Cruz County, in probably the highest point in the Santa Cruz Mountains, looking down on Cupertino on one side and then the Silicon Valley, and on the other side the coast. It's an incredible piece of property. And that Cabernet retails for about $130 a bottle. And they don't, you can't taste it but twice a year, I think. It's like a real sort of a secret operation. So I don't know that I've tried that one, but I'm intrigued already. If you tell me that some of the Montebello fruit is in it, I'm in.
I think.
There you go. So any bottle of Ridge you see, even their Chardonnay, and I've talked about it on the blog, their Chardonnay has been top 10 wine, Spectator wine, a couple years in a row. I've got a couple bottles there, 05, which I think was scored.
This is one of my favorite California products.
So there you go. Ridge. Anytime you see it, you know it's going to be good stuff. And this one is the 2006 Geyserville, a soft, elegant wine with an incredible nose. Check it out. I'm Neil.
I'm Steve.
Thanks for stopping by, wineacquisition.com.